Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Hi.
Hi, Jill. What's up?
We got our first text.
How about that?
It comes from our good friend, Diane. Hey, shout out to Diane.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
Well, I would like to read her text and let us respond to it. It says, Jill and Tony, I enjoyed the show on losing a friend. It can be painful or liberating. Funny how Tony lost a friend who didn't know he was lost. The program reminded me of the adage that some people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Keep up the good work. Happy holidays.
Hey.
Happy holidays, Diane. And thank you for sending that text. So
yes.
Do you have a response for her?
Yes. I believe she's absolutely correct that, sometimes people come into your life for just a certain span of time.
Right.
In and out.
Right.
It's very few of us that have, really lifelong friends.
That is true. That is true. People who have always been in our lives as friends, and they stay that way. There are very few people you can say that about.
Yes, true. So I think it's a natural occurrence.
Right. Even if they don't realize they're out.
But that's all about kindness. You don't want to be mean. Well, I don't want to be mean. Or
why'd you say it like that? Are you saying that I want to be mean? Why'd you say it like that?
I can only speak for myself.
I don't want to be mean. I may come across as mean quite a bit, but I'm not trying to be mean. No, you're supposed to say, oh, sweetheart, you don't come across as mean at all. That's what you're supposed to say. Anyway, why don't we get to this week's topic?
We should. What are we doing this week?
We're talking about memorable Christmases.
Oh, cool.
It's part of a segment that we call Stand by Your Stands. What is one of your most memorable Christmases?
Well, there are actually several. But I'll start with, no, I won't start with that. One of my most memorable Christmases is that I guess I may have been maybe 7 years old, maybe somewhere in there, 7, 8 years old. And my brother was 2 years older than me. So my mother decided to give us boxing gloves.
Ooh, bad idea. She did know that you two often fought with your fist or whatever anyway, right? She did know this, right?
She quickly realized that it was a very bad idea because we put those gloves on and tried to kill each other.
Oh my goodness.
My brother, there used to be a size called Husky, a clothing size.
Really?
It used to be called Husky.
They called it Husky?
Yes, Husky.
Oh.
That
sounds insensitive.
That was for big little boys.
Oh boy.
They were Huskies. It was real size. Like, you have small, medium, large, extra large. Well, there was a section called Husky.
That's mean. That's insensitive.
So my brother was a Husky. And I was just a little skinny little kid.
How old are we talking?
I was maybe 7 or 8.
Okay.
So he was 2 years older than me. But he was a Husky. So he probably weighed twice as much as me.
Okay.
And boy, he hit me with a fist that probably came from California to New York. I think
that was pre-gloves?
No, that's with gloves.
Oh, that's with the gloves.
Well, yeah, he figured that, we have boxing gloves. He could hit me hard as he wants. So he hit me with an uppercut.
Oh, boy.
And my feet went up in the air.
Oh,
and I flew back probably 6 feet.
Oh, goodness.
And hit the ground. And then I got up and did my best to knock him out. Well, I wasn't successful.
No one stopped it before you got up?
Well, I was quick when I got up.
Okay.
He knocked me like that. I saw stars, but it didn't stop me. I got back up and did the best I can to do him in. But my mother said, "Oh my gosh, why did I ever give you 2 boxing gloves?" And she took them away from us. We only got to use the boxing gloves for 5 minutes.
Well, that's probably 5 minutes too
long. Gone.
So she not only took them away, you never saw them again?
No, eventually.
She didn't hide them or something?
I don't remember, but I think like we may have found one of the gloves or something like that.
One set or one glove?
One glove.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she put them in like gloves in different places all over the house. Okay. So we didn't really get to use those boxing
gloves.
Well, that's
probably good.
But they were good ones. I mean, they were leather and everything. But no.
Not for you two.
Yeah, but that was our history. We fought.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why did she think the gloves would help that situation?
Oh, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. But we missed those boxing gloves, even though my brother knocked the daylights out of me. But I have a very hard head. My head is like hard as a rock. I'm like a real hard head. If you bump heads with me, chances are, now I'm not talking about a head bunt. I'm just like, if we accidentally bump heads,
then I'll probably not be knocked out and you'll be fine.
You might be knocked out.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, because, one time my brother and I were racing down to the basement.
Is this still Christmas? Because remember, we're talking about Christmases.
Yeah, it was Christmas. Yeah, that's it. It was Christmas. So we were racing to the bottom of the steps, I guess, to get out our boxing gloves, if this has to be Christmas. But my brother was going to win, and I didn't want him to win. So I jumped over the rail down to the basement. And when I did, I landed on his shoulders.
Oh, my goodness.
And fell backwards and hit my head on the concrete. My brother said I hit the concrete so hard that he could feel the floor vibrate.
Oh, my God. Did it knock you out?
No, I was a little dizzy. I was staggering around a bit. And then I continued the race.
No blood or anything?
No blood, but I continued the race.
And you didn't have a concussion? Nothing?
Who knew anything about concussions in the 60s?
There were such things as concussions.
Nobody thought about concussions. A kid getting a concussion. Yeah, you see stars, your head spins, and you go on.
Well, I'm going to tell you about my most memorable Christmas. I am changing the subject. Well, one of my
memorable Christmas.
One of my most memorable Christmases was the first Christmas I spent with you.
Really?
Because you took me to meet your daughters and your ex-wife
on Christmas.
To
spend Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was lovely, actually. Everybody was warm and welcoming and complimentary.
Well, that's
but
good.
I was really nervous because, I wanted to make a good impression.
Obviously you did. They didn't. My daughters didn't run you off.
No.
No, because if they didn't like you, it would have been a problem.
Yes, it would have.
To see.
But that was a memorable Christmas.
Oh, good. You have anything else?
Well, let's see. Some of the bad Christmases. Hey, listeners, when you think of gifts to give people, and I understand there's sometimes people feel pressure at Christmas because they want to get the right gifts for the person they're in a relationship with, or their loved ones. And sometimes that's easy and sometimes it's not. But whatever you do, don't just get him something you like.
Why not?
Because that would make it about you.
So you wouldn't like it if I got you a Porter cable drill or something?
I don't even know what that is. No.
I just told you what it was.
It's a drill?
Porter cable drill.
What's it used for?
To drill.
To drill what?
Drill holes. To use it as you can drill holes with it. You can use it as a screwdriver. You can use it as a kind of an impact wrench. You can use it for several things.
No, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Even though you just...
That's what I'm going to get you this year.
No.
I'm going to get you one of those.
Don't do that.
And then I'll teach you how to use it.
No, that would not be fun for me.
How about a tool belt? I'll get you a tool belt.
Well, I do like tool belts.
Ah, see.
I do like tool belts. But what I was going to say was that I had one Christmas at least stands out with an ex who gave me a floor lamp.
What's wrong with a floor lamp?
It was exactly like his floor lamp. And it was all because every time he came over to my place, he would say, "You really need a floor lamp." I'm like, "I don't want a floor lamp." So what does he do? He gives me not only a floor lamp, but one exactly like his. But I had been telling him like all year, I don't want a floor lamp. But because he did in my place, he puts it there. So I never did put the floor lamp out. So it turned out to be a lose-lose because every time he came over, he's like, "Where's the floor lamp?" Like, I told you I didn't want it.
So you got rid of it.
I gave it away. I gave it to someone who actually wanted a floor lamp.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, somebody got some good use out of it and appreciate it. That was nice. But
that was not me. So don't make a gift to someone else, especially someone you're in a relationship with, about you. Make it about them.
Okay. Well, here's another one you shouldn't do. Now, my father was an alcoholic, but we kind of knew what my father would do. But at Christmas time, don't invite another alcoholic over for Christmas,
because then the alcoholics will drink together.
Well, of course they're going to do that, but if you don't know that other alcoholic very well, it could be issues.
Oh. So,
just for the record, on my father's side of the family, they considered him and all of us to be the black sheep of the family. So they very rarely came over for like a holiday party or something like that, right? But for this year, my aunt and my uncle, and the aunt is my father's sister. Okay. So I don't know what it was, but for this year, they decided to come over for this little holiday get together, for Christmas that my parents were giving. They also invited a couple from down the street.
Your parents did, or the other people?
No, my parents. It was at my house.
Okay. I'm just clarifying that it wasn't the guest who brought in other guests. It was your parents did all the inviting. My parents
invited a couple from down the street that we knew because my brother was dating their daughter. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And, we lived in one of those old communities where everybody knew each other. So my parents thought it would be a good idea to invite them.
Okay.
Both of them, the husband and the wife, were both alcoholics.
Oh, boy.
And they were drunk before they got to our house. So when they get drunk, they get loud and start fighting. Okay.
Each other or just anybody?
Each other and whoever's available.
Okay. All right.
So here's my aunt and my uncle that views us as the black sheep of the family. So she didn't want to be there in the first place. I think her husband made her come.
Okay.
Because her husband and my father were best friends from being in the service.
Okay.
In the Army Air Force at that time. So they all come over, and the couple from down the street come over. And like I said, I noticed they were drunk when they came in the house. But something happened. I don't know what happened, but I know something happened. And then I heard all this yelling and cussing and all of that. So I came to see what was going on. And the husband of this couple from down the street, I think my father and him got into some kind of scuffle. I don't know why, because I didn't see that part. But the other man got knocked to the floor.
By your father?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what the scuffle was. I heard the scuffle. I came to see what the scuffle was. And when I got there, the man was falling to the floor.
Okay.
But when he hit the floor, a gun fell out of his waist.
Oh, no. How old were you?
I was probably a teenager then. Probably maybe 16.
Why did he bring a gun to your house? Or was he just always armed?
I do not know.
It didn't go off, did it?
It didn't go off, but the gun, and we had hardwood floors. So he hit the floor, the gun popped out of his waist and slid right under my aunt's, right in between my aunt's legs.
Oh, no. So what did she do?
She didn't say a word, but her eyes said much. And less than a minute, they were out the door and gone.
I can imagine.
They never came back.
They never came back
for the holidays again. Their holiday party. The moral of the story is don't invite alcoholics to your holiday gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was memorable.
This didn't happen on Christmas, but there was one holiday where someone I would describe as full of hatred came.
Ooh.
So that's when I yelled.
Oh, yeah, that was
in the car.
That was a holiday.
It was a holiday, but it wasn't Christmas. And got in the car and I squealed up. I'm positive it was Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So don't invite people that have hatred and just their whole heart is full of hatred.
Yeah, that's a good. We're agreeing on a lot of stuff in this episode.
Were we supposed to disagree this time?
Yeah, I'm right.
I'm right.
Yeah.
So in this case, we're both right.
Other things. Now, I don't want to create this picture that my parents were bad parents, because my parents were good parents. Everybody has their issues, and then again, we're talking about different times. We're talking about back in the 60s and all of that. Things were, back in the 50s and stuff, nobody wore a seatbelt. There weren't even any seatbelts. They didn't start putting seatbelts in cars till, the early 60s. And so a lot of people didn't use seatbelts like they do now. Even we didn't use seatbelts, but eventually we did. So my parents was okay.
Okay.
But one year,
Christmas,
right around Christmas, yeah. In our household, nobody was really wine drinkers. My father didn't drink wine. He drank hard liquor. Okay. And my mother, she didn't really drink wine either. But around the holidays, you bought Manischewitz. That's the only wine. For many years, the only type of wine was Manischewitz Grape Concord wine.
Okay.
That's the only thing I knew existed. So on this holiday, my mother decided that our brother and I could handle like a little small portion of Manischewitz wine.
How old were you?
Uh, it might have been around that time we got boxing gloves.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So she gave us.
So again, not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
But you all made this decision.
No, she decided.
Someone gave it to you?
My mother.
She gave you.
Yes. Don't you say my mother was a bad parent.
I'm not. I wasn't going there. I'm just trying to think of what
different times. Different times. You know,
true.
It was
one time I talked my aunt into giving me Boone's Farm in my little cup. Yes. I had a little pink cup.
Oh, that just wasn't right.
She didn't give me much, and I didn't like the taste, so it was probably a good thing.
So anyway, my mother decided to give us a little bit of wine for the holiday.
Okay.
And
how did you all act after that?
Well, my brother and I kind of bonded because we were both drunk.
You weren't trying to kill each other anymore?
We were not trying to kill each other. We were actually having
it calmed you all down?
We was actually having a good time together. And so we decided, my mother was on the phone, but she was sitting at the dining room table on the phone. And we're just crawling around being, two little drunk kids. Just crawling around, just who knows what. But my mother was tapping her foot while she was on the phone.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
It was like, why is she tapping?
Does that mean she's mad?
No, she was just talking on the phone to somebody and just tapping her foot, like la-di-da, just tapping her foot. Sometimes people just tap their foot, and she was tapping her foot. But we was like, wow, look at her tapping her foot. She's letting it go to waste. That energy is going to waste. The energy in her foot is going to waste. We must put a use to it.
Huh?
Well, she's tapping her foot. That's energy. Tapping her foot. That's energy. She's wasting the energy.
You tap your feet to music. That's not wasted energy.
No.
But I tap my foot when I'm mad. When I'm trying to calm down, I tap my foot.
Well, we decided we should not let that energy go to waste. So we got some of those little cherries, and we start sticking it under her foot.
What is wrong? What was wrong with you all?
We were drunk.
So what does she do when she realized that she's stomping cherries now her drunk sons put under her feet?
We must have. So we had crawled under the dining room table, and she wasn't paying attention to us because we were like two boys. They're always doing stupid little things. So she wasn't paying any attention, but we thought it was hilarious when she smashed the first one and didn't realize she smashed it. So then we put another one, and we were up to 4 cherries.
Oh my
before
goodness.
She figured out she was doing that, and then like little boys, we just ran off laughing.
So my!
That was memorable. So everyone knows. Did nowadays.
Did you get in trouble for that?
No, she just said she wouldn't give us any more wine. So that's the last time I'm gonna do that. So again, memorable. I still remember that very vividly to this day. So things around Christmas time you maybe shouldn't do. I don't know. But made it very memorable. Very memorable. Good stuff.
I guess so.
And I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but in some families, unfortunately, around the holidays,
yes,
somebody's going to jail.
Well, yeah.
Around the holidays.
It seems like, I always say weddings and funerals, but I guess we could add into the mix holidays bring out the worst in people.
Yeah, well, especially Christmas and New Year. It really brings out the worst in people in some cases.
In some cases, yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder how this year Christmas will be for people, because, you know, it's been a really tough 2 years for everyone worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I wonder, you know, if you're finally able to, you know, this might be the first time our listeners are even seeing their family members.
Yeah.
You know, and so all of that, you know, people have been frustrated, people have been sad, you know, all of those emotions can come out when you're finally around people. You know, so hopefully things will go well.
Yeah, and times change, because, you know, now that you bring that up, I realize I haven't spent Christmas with all of my siblings in the same location probably in over 45 years.
Wow.
So that's kind of messed up. Well, we might change that one day. I don't know.
You probably won't get all your siblings.
Oh, I won't get all of them. There's one I'm definitely not going to get.
Yes.
But the other two, yes. We might be able to arrange that one day.
We should work on that. Well, let's get to our second segment that we call
Give It a Rest and a Resolution.
Conclusions, resolutions.
The audience already knows mine.
What?
Don't invite alcoholics.
Well, that's advice. What's your conclusion?
That's my conclusion. Don't invite alcoholics to your house during the holidays.
Okay.
That's my advice.
Well,
that's it.
Well, my conclusion.
That's my conclusion
is that
too.
we all have memorable. Hopefully, we all have memorable holidays that we've spent with family. But, you know, try to think of the ones that are your best ones instead of dwelling on the ones that weren't.
Oh, that's good.
Let's get to our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Do you have more advice?
I do.
Okay.
Don't give your minor children alcohol. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Well, my advice, and this is actually what I try to do every year, actually. I've never said it out loud, but here's what I try to do every year. I try to make every holiday, especially Christmas. Not everyone celebrates Christmas, but that's the biggest holiday family gathering for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make it as the best one it can be. So more memorable, the best one that I've ever had.
Ever?
Yes. I try to make it that way.
I didn't know that.
I do.
See what I learned from doing this podcast? I did not know that.
Well, maybe I haven't always succeeded because last couple of Christmases I've been like, bah humbug. I don't need any gifts. I don't want to wrap any gifts, you know. So I don't always succeed, but I try. Well, let's get to our last segment that we call.
So, what do you think? What do you think?
Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
Well, I hope our listeners want to be like Diane, and you can text us, you can call us, and what's the number?
404-594-2247.
Right.
Yeah,
and of course you can put a comment on our website too.
Yes, and I'm really urging our listeners this time. Please tell us about some of your most memorable holiday stories.
Right. We would love to hear them.
We really would, because I don't want to feel like I'm the only one that grew up in a dysfunctional household. I need some company.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap this one up.
Wrap it up.
You've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and to you two listeners. If you do celebrate Christmas, we hope you have a fabulous one.
Fabulous holiday, and we love you all.
We do. We love you all.
Are you sure, Jill?
I'm sure. I'm being sincere. I've come a long way, baby. I've come a long way.
It's been a hard go to start getting you to say that out loud.
Well, I do mean it now.
Oh, now. You didn't mean it before?
Well, I couldn't
oh my
say
God.
it before.
We got to get
I couldn't say it before.
end this podcast.
But now that I'm saying it, I mean it. Bye.
Bye.